Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Kayla Lords.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM. Back.
Yeah.
Yet again.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about 5 things you ought to know about a big BDSM topic. This one is a big one.
Yeah.
This one gets people stuck.
Oddly enough, yeah.
Yeah, and once you do it once or twice, you'll be like, why was I so worried about that? So we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Munches.
Mm-hmm.
So let's define what that is first, in case you're like, what the hell is a munch? Okay, so a munch is basically a kink event gathering in a place where it's about socializing. You are not there to play. You are not there to... You meet people, but it's not like a dating scene. This is not speed dating. It is there. You were there just to socialize and kind of get out into your kinky community and meet other people like you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we ready?
I think so.
Okay.
Here we go.
Number 1, you find them on FetLife.
People ask all the time, is there a way to get around FetLife? We have not found it.
No.
If you want to find your local community and whether your community has a munch, your best place to go is FetLife.
Yeah.
Even the sources we found that compile them onto one website, to get the details,
You have to go back to Fet.
right, it all goes back to FetLife.
Yeah.
So you don't have to spend a lot of time there. You don't have to accept friend requests. You don't have to message with anybody. You can just go there to search your county, your city, your region name, your state. You can go as broad as you'd like, and then you can find what's in the area that you're willing to drive to. So some small communities might not have anything right in your city or even your county, but you might have something in like the next major area over. And if you're willing to drive that far, you have your own distance that you're okay with, then you can go.
And other areas have so many, like Tampa Bay area, they have 4 or 5. They actually coordinate through the month. Each different munch, they work with the other so that they're all held on different.
So there's no overlap.
No overlap. Yes.
Exactly. So you want to find a munch, you want to find your community, you're gonna need to go to FetLife.
Yep. Number 2, they're not as scary as you think.
People get terrified. I was terrified my first munch. You were scared your first munch.
Yes, I was.
We're all nervous, unless you are just that social butterfly who thrives on walking into unknown things. It's normal to be nervous.
Yeah.
What makes most people nervous is a couple of things. Either you think everybody in there is going to be dressed in head to toe leather and carrying whips and chains. They are not.
Nope.
Munches are designed to be more vanilla, and so vanilla dress, your street clothes, is usually what is
Casual dress.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing they worry about is that, oh my gosh, I'm giving up all anonymity and somebody I know will see me. That's right. And if you see somebody
That's
you know in a
possible.
munch, that means both of you are kinky and both of you know each other's secret.
And there is a thing with the munches. Vegas rules apply. What happens at a munch stays at a munch.
Right.
Okay. It's kind of the rule of the code of ethics for a munch, that you know, if you meet somebody you know, they're there as well, and they have the same concern as you. You don't talk about it outside the munch, not without consent.
Exactly. And if your munch is held in a coffee shop, in a restaurant, in a public place, and you walk in to go to that munch and you see somebody you know in the not munch space, they do not know what you're there for. And it is very easy to go, oh, book club. Oh, it's a meeting. Oh, or do a quick wave and keep on walking. You get to have your own boundaries in this life, and one of those boundaries gets to be that just because you see somebody you know, they don't have to know what you're there to do.
Right.
Okay? So keep that in mind.
Okay. Number 3, they're usually held in vanilla spaces.
This is not true all of the time. Some munches are held at maybe a local BDSM club. And in that case, you can be a little bit more free with maybe some of your dress, but not that much. But the vast majority of them are in restaurants, in coffee shops, in bars, in wherever you can imagine, and usually off to a side or in a side room, so you have a lot more privacy. You're not, very, very, very rarely will you ever be at a table in the middle of a dining room surrounded by other people. You will be off to the side where you have privacy.
And normally, if a munch is held at a dungeon, during that time, there is absolutely no play going on. I know a couple clubs that do this. They hold the munches at the club. It is still basically a social time, and what it is also is it is a way for people, especially someone who has never been to a club before, to be able to go in there while there's not any play and just kind of look around and ask questions. And
in a less intimidating way. It can be intimidating to go to a BDSM dungeon when the lights are dim, the music's loud, and there's a lot of half-naked people in there. And if you are in an area where they hold a munch in the club, you're going in daylight hours, all the lights are up, you can see everything, and it's quiet, and you can sometimes get a tour, and you can ask questions, and it's a very low-pressure situation.
Right. Number 4, these are not high protocol events.
So what we mean by high protocol is there is no expectation that you refer to every dominant by whatever their title is, sir, madam, mistress, whatever. And there is no expectation that you are to somehow, as a submissive, not speak to somebody who's a dominant, okay? In a club, in a party, those rules sometimes do apply. Depending on where you go, there may be rules that say, okay, if you want to talk to a submissive who's partnered with a dom, you talk to the dom first, or submissives don't make eye contact, or whatever these rules are. In a munch, it's not like that. This is a social space for you to get to know people. So essentially, everybody is on equal footing here. Your role only applies within your relationship with your partner, not with everybody else in the room. So you don't have to use titles. You don't have to use labels. You don't even have to identify yourself as dom or sub unless you feel comfortable doing that.
True. Okay, number 5, anyone can go.
Yes. Now, every munch has a slightly different procedure, depending on the area, depending on safety, but depending on things that they have been through. So we have seen munches where you had to be vetted before you could get the location. Or we've gone to events that weren't munches, but were kind of semi-public kink events where you had to RSVP before you got the address.
Correct.
So every area will be a little bit different, but it is not a munch is not a thing where they go, well, the submissives can't go, the dominants can't go. That's not a munch. That's a different kind of kink meeting.
Or switches. Everyone, however they identify, are what generally welcome at munches.
Even if you don't know how you identify, if you just know that you're kind of interested in some of this kinky stuff and you haven't figured any of it out, you are still welcome. So there's a lot to say about munches. We say that every time.
We do.
There's a lot to say about munches. And munches are different from area to area. So the rules you might be used to in your area may not apply if you go to a different part of the country or even, as we have found, a different part of the state. Okay? So the best thing you can do is in FetLife, when you find a munch that you're interested in going to, read all of the rules, and when in doubt, reach out to the organizer and ask questions. Okay, that's always the best thing you can do, and that way there's no confusion of what's okay and what's not okay and how this all works. Most organizers, good organizers, they want people to go to their munch. They're going to help you. They're going to give you the information. And if you can't get an organizer to talk to you and give you that information, maybe that's not the place to go. See if you can find another munch. So for anybody who regularly goes to munches, or you've gone to munches in the past, you're really active in your BDSM community, because we are definitely pro local community. Definitely comment below with anything else you think people need to know about munches, because it is a thing that makes people very nervous. I think the only thing that makes people more nervous than a munch is a play party or the dungeon. Which, fair. Totally get that. We will do a video about that soon. Don't worry. And a lot of that is because of misconceptions of what's expected and what you're supposed to do. But a munch is just, you are gonna go meet some strangers for lunch or coffee, but it is just lunch or coffee. That's it. It's not a play thing. It's not a kink thing. It's just, we're gonna be our everyday people selves and our everyday clothing and go talk about whatever. Who knows? So yeah, leave any other tips you have for people who might be new to munches down below. If you like what we do, consider joining us on Patreon. Become a kink patron.
Please and thank you.
Patreon.com/killlords. You can join for as low as $1 a month. You help us make more videos, and you get to see these videos early. So there's that, and you get to help us pick topics. So there's that too. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. That's munches. There's so much to talk about, and we will get to it in subsequent videos. We promise. Bye.